How many people? Good. Hello
everyone.
everybody. I'm going to stand right there. He always gets me with this every week.
Your trebuchet is even in the way.
Yeah. Gets me right in the... I'll break this off.
Here, I'll come adjust it.
No,
It's
I got
fine.
it.
Oh,
I'll
you
do
got
that.
it? Okay.
Hello everybody. I'm Ed Pugh here at Reaper Miniatures, president. We're building a trebuchet. Showing a picture of what we're building for those that have not been here before.
I'm also here too.
Oh, John's here. I'm sorry. He's
I'm
reading the screen and just hanging out and being cool.
Yeah. I'll be here.
There it is. That's what we're doing, that brown thing. Now, where we are now is over the weekend, I came up here and got some stuff sort of sorted on it a little bit. But as you can see, we're to this level now, and it will actually do its swing. I figured that out. So down what we're down to, and I'm going to show y'all today, I went ahead and got started on this. The sling itself is going to have to be loomed, so I've actually started making it here, and I'll show you how we're going to do that here in a little while, or how I'm doing it at least, because you just can't find a sling loom online, I guess. Or Amazon does, one thing Amazon doesn't carry, I guess. So anyway, that's where we are. We're going to get started. Let me get with the down camera, I guess, so I can show everybody what we've done. Let's see here. Okay. Because we're going to actually shoot this thing, I've got bushings in here with the axle, so we've got that. We have our arm, and on the box, I've done the same thing, so that I can get just no friction. Anything else we have to add just makes it that much worse. I haven't added any real ballast to it yet. I meant to grab some, I forgot, to see how this will swing. The few things that I did this weekend, while I was up here, was really work out more of anything the geometry of everything so that it would all line up. So we've got that, and then these shims here are actually now glued in to hold them as level as possible. So the bushings, as I would call it, the outer piece of plastic. This is floating inside of there, as you can see. It'll float straight, but if you have your angles off, that's okay. Oh yeah. Let me get my, there we go, I got it. Yeah. Just knocking stuff everywhere, it's what we do.
We're closer to you. So
Yeah. So anyway, what'll happen is that if you have all this geometry off and this type of thing, then it'll just bang its way into each other. This thing won't swing back and forth, things like that. So anyway, we've done that. Now what we're going to do today is, let me push this back out. Okay, as you can see, we had that gap there, so I need to close this down. And the reason that's going to have to be tighter, it doesn't have to be rubbing on it, but it just does need to be tighter, is every time this swings wildly or does its thing, we don't want it shifting from this side to this side or anything like that. In which case, if we do that and don't correct it, next time you go to load it, it'll swing back, it'll hit the frame, and it just won't work. And the guys whoever the enemy you're shooting this at will, in turn, have a Monty Python giggle at your expense. So, I'm going to level these off a little bit and make sure that we're pretty reasonably flush there on the plastic side. And then we're going to dress them up a little bit and get stuff going on them. Now, when we're done, these will actually be capped off for that purpose. Let's see. Now, I also discovered a weakness in as much as I went ahead and just glued these pieces here at each side on the left and the right. That's an addition there, okay? And the reason is that as you can see, all I did was just pinch this with 3 pieces. I'm trying to get an angle, or if I can see it on my monitor, then I know y'all can see it. There was this piece here, which we're using as our facade, and then we have that to equal the spacing of this, and then a third one to pinch it and give us the support. So that is what we were doing there, and then I used pins to hold it in place once I got the alignment going. What do we got to do? Okay. So today we're actually going to get the last of this. What my hope is we're going to get the last of all the structure of this done, or very close, and then next week we're going to paint it and shoot it. That's sort of ambitious. We might have some touch-up next week, but that is the plan. The hardest thing I'll do, I'm only going to do a couple of strands on the loom today, because it's probably got an hour or two, at least 2 or 3 hours of just sitting there doing it to get it all done. So we will do that. And then I'm going to get these out of here. We'll get this, start off with this. Let's finish up the bucket.
Real quick while you're doing that,
Yes,
Ed.
sir.
Let's talk about the giveaway real quick for today.
Okay.
Potentially.
Potentially, yes. It's always potential. What we have here,
thanks,
just
Reaper
give us
John.
the front screen, and I'll just put it there. We found in the warehouse, actually, Monday morning's meeting, she reported them. We found, although that's blurry, it's not in
Back
camera.
towards you.
Go towards you.
Okay. Better. Some of the holiday color sets, 18 of them to be specific, they were located. So what we're going to do is today, these 18, well, just like we were doing with the holiday leftover Christmas packs, is it still the same rules? 5 subs?
Yes, 5
Okay.
subs is 1 giveaway.
There we go.
And John just started us off at 1.
That's right.
There we go. So, like, you know, those that you've been here know the drill. Those that haven't been, for every 5 subscriptions, we'll throw one of these in to give away as a freebie at the end. Don't start hashtag free yet until Justin tells you, because until it qualifies, he doesn't mess with it.
Correct.
So, anyway, there's that. Now we also have a really cool big announcement, though. Are you ready? Are you queued up for that?
I have the link in chat here. Hold on.
Oh,
I've
there's a
been
link to it too?
I've been
Yeah,
linking
well, that's what people have been using all morning.
Oh, see, I thought the big announcement was concerning me. I guess we're going to talk about the other thing, huh?
I've been linking it in chat
Oh,
for people,
already?
but I don't know if there's a command for it or not.
So
There's
let me get
one of
this
them.
where you can see what I'm doing. And all we're doing at this point is we're just doing really cosmetics here to get this thing to go. These boards here need to come down. So I will just angle them like that and give more of a, just sort of a slightly finished look to it, I guess. Something more than just a broken off end.
Just bevel these edges here.
Yeah, that's all I got to do. And then there'll be a general, before we start painting or dressing it out, there'll be more of a overall sanding and catching all the edges and stuff like that.
Clean it up.
Clean
Thanks,
it
LB.
up. Get it ready for the, because anywhere we have glue on the surface, which like I can already tell you is going to be here, it's just dried, I've got to get that glue off and take it back down to wood, because if I apply any paint or stain or whatever I'm doing, this obviously won't let it go through, so it'll just look like blotches. And there's no way, because you can see that's actually, well, in my monitor at least you can't even see it, but there's actually a layer right about that width there of some fingerprint of glue or something.
Yeah.
So we'll get stuff like that off, but we got a lot of cool stuff to do when we're doing it.
Thanks, Striding Aragorn, for the sub.
Yeah, and I'm
I'll
gonna
be
go.
using.
I'm gonna go ahead and activate the giveaway now.
All right, okay, so we're up to 5 already.
We're up to 7.
7,
7.
wow,
Hype train's going.
yeah.
is,
So
we have a
now
hype
on to
train
our
going.
big wild and excitement, those of you who've already seen it, is we are, like everybody in the U.S., everyone was very moved about the little koala drinking from the fireman's water bottle, and we are jumping in to that equation, and what we have done is we are going to back the RSPCA for South Australia. I've been in contact with them via email. I haven't talked to them on the phone or anything, but we've exchanged emails, so they're aware of what we're doing. Just as an excitement, because we know our fans, we went ahead and made $7,000 Australian
AUD.
AUD or 5,000 US advance payment to them, because we just said, look guys, we know this is going to do well and you need the money now, not later. So we went ahead and did that, and that actually occurred last Friday to make sure we had all channels cleared. And then as of right before I walked in here, I got with Ron, and while there's not a ticker up, there will be a ticker on the website.
Oh, cool.
Get it up in here. Is that just, oh, you've got just the minis?
I have the minis there to show off. Yes.
I have the page linked in
Okay,
chat.
in there.
Yeah,
So we've already collected a little over $4,000 gross, which means we'll give them $3,000. And what we're doing is each of the models, well, the pack, the two on the right are a pack. You get both a kangaroo and a koala. And on the left, these are just individual models in each one. So you have 3 choices, and they are $10 each, and we're giving $7.50 out of each one to them. We're paying all the tooling, we're doing all that kind of stuff. Jason Wiebe is the sculptor for the 2 on the left. He donated his time. Andy Pieper did the 2 on the right. And donated. I mean, he's in. They're both in the equation, and then so everybody's getting behind this as best we can, kind of a thing. So it's exciting. We're excited to get something done and help them out. It brings a sense of sanity around here too. It's nice to always be behind something that's good. considering the level of the tragedy that has occurred.
Yeah, I know we always do models like this, like with the elephant back in the day with the tsunami and all that stuff. As long as I've been here, I've noticed that we've always liked to do this kind of thing, just because it helps out a lot, especially if people can get cute minis that go along with it. It actually goes towards a great cause.
And it's generally, sometimes too, it's also, this goes way back when we were having issues, but how to get the funds to the people. You have it, you get it, and you go, and it really becomes very problematic finding them. Sometimes it just is different. That's why this time we reached out to them up front and made sure that they were on board with it, that we're on board with it.
You've got to do some research on your fundraisers and things like that.
Yeah, and we also wanted to make sure how much they in turn flow through of the money they collect. That was a big issue. And so Amanda, the lady in our QC, did some research on them, and she said 75%, at least a minimum, does flow through straight to the cause.
Okay.
And so we're excited for that. And in particular, we chose South Australia because of the tragedy at Kangaroo Island.
Yeah. And there was another one. I think one of the ladies who works for RSPCA was on our Facebook page earlier today, and she commented on our post. And she was talking about there was Wallaby Island, or Wallaby... No, not Wallaby. It's Dungaroo something. But they also said there was fires on Kangaroo Island, which were very bad for
there are some actually very, with a little bit of research and talking to some people, there are several unique species that are only found on Kangaroo Island. It's not a very evolved, or I don't want to say evolved.
Cudley Creek, sorry.
It's not a very, can't think of the word. Developed, hotels, all that, very rare. I mean, it's sort of a unique little ecosphere to itself.
It hasn't been ravished by man.
Yeah, by McDonald's and Walmart. Yeah.
Yeah, it's Cudley Creek is the other one. There was another fire on Cudley Creek.
Well, their government was slow to respond on paying the volunteers, and not that they, a volunteer is just that, he's a volunteer. But I would just believe, my opinion is generally when you volunteer, it is to do something to get back to your real world. So they did finally get a payment approved in the equation. I know. Hold on.
We dropped some tools.
No, I dropped the piece.
Oh, the piece.
He dropped the entire bucket.
But there we go. Now we're back.
Dull's blade.
So if you guys are on our socials and stuff, make sure you share it. It helps a lot if you get it to as many people as possible.
Our goal is 25,000. That's what we want to get to. We believe that we can do it. We don't have a time deadline yet. That hasn't come up. It came up in discussion, but it was more or less, let's get this part done, and then we'll worry about the end and the wrap-up from that end.
And that's why the UK doesn't have it yet, because we wanted to get it out as fast as possible. So it's going to be on the restock. It should be there early next week. So all you UK warehouse people should be able to get it over there early next week.
Now, if you notice, I just changed my blade. One of the things that, especially when working with this stuff and the blades, is to avoid the pinching. Like you'll see right here when I'm doing a cross cut, and it got rough there. That's where my blade's just getting rough. It's just time to change it. Kind of a thing. So it's all just a kind of a thing.
Kind of a thing.
Kind of a thing. So did anybody do anything wild over the weekend that they want to put in the TeamSpeak? I mean the TeamSpeak, in the chat?
In the chat.
I was thinking we were talking about TeamSpeak last night.
Yeah, what did everybody do this weekend? What terrain are you guys currently working on, if you're working on any terrain? I know we have a bunch of pictures to show later on once we can start showing things off, but yeah.
Oh, you can start showing off at any time if you've got stuff to put out.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see if anybody in chat. I don't see a Jacob Jansen here. I know he's been getting stuff ready for GaryCon. His Dungeon Master's going to GaryCon.
Wow.
So he's been getting a bunch of stuff ready for him.
I don't know if it still is, but it was last time I saw anything about it. It was actually in a house up there. Not in Gary's old house, but in a house there. I can't think of the name of the town. Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Yep. A lot of fun.
Also, I've decided that for every 250 bits that you guys want to throw in too, that'll also generate an additional entry. Not for a paint set, but that equates to one sub. So if you have bits, feel free to use those too.
So anyway, we've given it a rudimentary rounding here. I will come back and sort of get a little bit more symmetric, but I want to get everything sort of where it needs to be. And generally what I'm trying to focus on are these two lines here. I both want them straight, and I want them reasonably close to each other to give it that finished look. As you can see, this one's curving a little bit, so I'll just come in and hit it and sort of straighten it out. And from that end.
Coffee Nerdery Beer said that she got some inspiration from you this weekend and started working on her, let me see, Ed inspiration over the weekend and built my kid a guitar pedal board.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Wow, yeah.
Bug Lips said that he shoveled a ton of snow.
That's good. That's always good, I think. We get snow down here, but our snow turns into ice really fast. And so we end up with, and then these pin heads here, these were just in there for gluing. So I'll pull those out now.
Yeah, it's just we don't have things to deal with snow. Like, we don't have trucks and snow
Yeah, we've got
plows
some,
and-
we can sand a little bit, but like, I don't know if there's a snow plow
I don't think
anywhere
we
in.
have them. Yeah.
Yeah, Denton County.
Just, you know, I don't think the state thinks they're worth investing in, since we get snow like once every 2 years
Yeah.
for a little bit. Somebody took down their Bigos Peps says, finally got our Christmas lights taken down.
Uh-oh.
We hadn't turned them on since New Year's. I mean, I don't know how extraneous those are on like electric bills and stuff. So
Not really. I wouldn't think anything is part of your electric bill, but I wouldn't think they're too much of a strain. Well, it depends. If you're like Griswold and you've covered your entire house every millimeter with a light bulb, then yeah, you'll have quite a bill.
Rob Jedi, been painting some brick buildings for my post-apocalyptic city. Rob Jedi in chat. said that.
What game are you playing?
Yeah,
For
Rob, what
Post-Apocalypse?
game?
Just in and out, just that fast, huh?
Yeah. See if he does it.
Brick buildings are an unusual build. I mean, it depends on what you're trying to do in the period you want to get, and the construction technique
Yeah.
that you want to use.
There's all kinds of stuff. Like, I've seen that all over the place, especially in our hobby. There's so many different ways to
do
solve your
anything,
problems.
yeah.
So
I had to build, years ago, we were running a Vietnam campaign, and we wanted a battle board that we could adjust and use different things like that. And every picture you'll see of that conflict or the war when they're set up is these just massive amounts of sandbags. And at the time, no one sold anything, much less to the scale for 25, 28 millimeter. And I was just playing around, and then one time I was at a store and I saw this thing called chiclets, and I thought, and I saw the shape on the container, and I thought, well, that looks just like a
little
it's a
sandbag.
little sandbag. So I opened it, I bought it, opened it up, and they were close enough to scale for my purpose. So I glued probably 1,000 chiclets to make an entire sandbag fire base, or sandbagged up fire base. All right.
Now that I think about it, that sounds pretty funny to see.
Let's see. All right. So we've got that sort of chunked in there. And then what we're going to do is we need to add a little bit more trim. Let me get this. I'm going to bring up what I was going to do, because I've got to add ballast to this. And after I add the ballast, I'll put it on. But I think just to be able to get it is I'll bring the trim up a little bit here and just stop, just so I have a place to finish it up. But at the same time, I don't want to just use this. I mean, we could almost just leave that open area there. It'd normally be all shut because you're slinging it around everywhere. You're just going to be falling out. But I can deal with that later. It won't sling a whole lot.
Especially if we put it in like a little baggie. Like if you put it in a baggie and then put the baggie
Put
in
that
there.
in there could help, yeah.
Instead of just pouring cat litter straight into there. Or sand or whatever you're going to use.
Actually, I was going to put some glass beads down there
Oh,
from
cool.
the bottles and see
yeah.
what that would do. Now, for those that have not seen this, what we're going to do is just cut us a strip here. And this is a thin material. I believe it's the same. It might not be. Let me make sure before I get all worked up here. No, this is actually thinner. We'll go with something a little bit. This comes from that bulk bag. You just get a lot of random sheets.
Oh, really? This is all from the same bag?
Just a
all
bag,
these sheets,
yeah.
things that you have
Oh,
here?
well, I went out and bought some because you need specific sizes to work with. But at the same time, you just get these bulk balsa wood and just cut out what you need and how you want to do it.
You can get these at pretty much generic hobby stores and things like
Yeah,
that.
oh yeah, yeah. Hobby Town, Hobby Lobby, in fact. You're just going to find them more in the kids area as an activity.
Hey, John, you don't have to post that anymore.
Okay.
I set up during Ann's show, I set up a command.
Oh, what's the command?
It's koalas.
Exclamation point koalas with an S?
Koalas with an S, yes.
Oh.
Boom.
Perfect.
Ann's painting, she was painting them today, wasn't she?
Yeah, one of them, yes.
One of them?
People seem to be enjoying it.
The koalas?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She started one today. Was it the druid or the barbarian?
Oh, the firefighter. Courage.
Courage, the firefighter.
I mean, RPGs, they would be like a
The
druid or
druid.
barbarian.
Hope.
But the one actually has a fire axe tool.
Yeah,
as opposed
which I
to
thought
just
was a good
battle
touch.
axe, yeah.
It was a very good touch. My favorite's the druid, Hope. I just like that model. It just looks very cool with the potted plant and everything and the shovel. It was such a great idea.
Now, just for me, because I get weird like this, I guess, the OCD side, I've got a right angle. I've got a weird angle here that's going to be, let me get it to where you can see it, and it's going to leave an opening where these two meet. And so what I'm going to do is actually go in here and take this. It's not sticking up enough past it to worry about, so I'm probably just going to take some off this angle here.
Oh, to kind of
To
shape
where
it down a
they'll,
little bit.
yeah, just where they'll meet up, and so that you can see what I'm doing. That is the point of the.
Thank you for the bits, by the way, Dr. Bob, and thank you for the bits, Ellie Otter.
Ellie Otter. Why does it do it in ones like that?
I think she chose to do that.
Okay.
Assuming,
To make it look bigger?
Yeah, correct.
Ah, makes sense.
So what I did is it's going to get a little bit closer, less clunky looking, and from there I can trim it. So what I did is I just took a little bit off of this corner right here, okay, and then that's the corner that's going to lay down against that board that sticks up.
Yeah.
And it just closes, it'll close it up a little bit. So that'll
Yeah.
be a special one. Like our Bob Ross little special board, I guess.
Yeah, you gotta file it down. You gotta make it that rounded edge.
Yeah.
Make it look
then
good.
On this side, we'll do the same thing.
I mean, while we're doing this, I think we have some pictures to show.
Yeah.
I don't know if Justin has those ready or not, but
He's always got everything ready. He's always on the spot.
Yeah, that's what it is.
as he goes to his email.
Yeah, as I go to my email.
Well, at least he's not playing.
No,
a game.
it's easier for him to drag it, I think.
Yes,
Maybe.
that is part of it. However, usually I do set them up beforehand so that they're correctly sized. This time, though, I was preparing Ed's would-be nuclear fallout area.
What?
Nuclear fallout area. I got to build a nuclear fallout area.
No, I mean like
Oh, your
the
workspace.
wasteland here that is your
workspace.
workspace.
Oh, is this my? Oh, is this a picture now? I got on there with the workspace,
I can set up the second camera so people can really truly see the devastation.
the mess.
You guys get like
Well, see, it
5%
actually does
of it.
get cleaned up though. I mean, because it gets got to be scraped off and moved
Oh, it
around.
does. It does.
But so you just imagine after 2 weeks.
It all goes into the bucket and then comes back out basically in the way it went into the bucket.
All right.
Hey, Reaper Harley's here. With the Bob Ross emote. Wait, who has that emote? I don't know where she got that one from.
I think it's a basic
Oh, it's a
has,
basic
she
one?
has internet foo. She could find it.
My favorite one is this one, the one I'm about to put in chat.
Now, because I'm gonna spread this glue on evenly, I just made just a mess of it here.
Also,
And
John,
then-
doing this helps us track which ones we've looked at and not. So,
Okay. Oh yeah, good call. This is if you guys look in chat, that's my favorite current eat mode that I have. I sent it in chat. It says rigged. It's a guy yelling saying rigged.
Oh,
So every time someone wins a contest or anything like that, I just throw
Run
that
that
emote
one,
in
huh?
chat. That says rigged.
oh, that's great.
haters will hate.
That's Forever Night. Forever Night has another one. It looks like a slot machine. It says rigged on it. Trash. Good one, Trash. Special shout out to Trashorama and Planar Crossroads. They're helping me with the Discord. They help manage a bunch of other Discords, and so they're helping me out, teaching me. Hey, Jacob Jansen's here. Welcome, Jacob.
Hello, Mr. Jacob. I haven't looked up to see all of yours. I heard you say Bug Lips was here. Have you seen Achilles Blade?
I don't know if I've seen him today.
All right.
Miss Shale. Thanks, Trashorama and Planar Crossroads. We should have it up pretty soon. I mean, it's getting really exciting. I'm trying to get all the features and stuff put in, so it's like we can handle the amount of people that are going to join.
Also, we are 100 bits or a singular sub away from a third giveaway.
There we go.
And as people have probably noticed, there are about 4 new emotes in the chat right now.
Oh, yeah.
Or that we have that were approved. And thank you, Trash, for putting those in.
Yeah, Trash.
Well, 2 of them are from Trash. 2 of them are from ones that we already had.
What are they? Which one? Soon TM?
Soon
Is that
TM is
one?
one.
Yeah, and here, I put all
Lived
4
with
in
that
chat.
for years.
There you go. Those are the 4 new ones right there, Ed.
So these were all made by the Reaper John. Those are the 4 new ones. So these were all made by Trash.
Well,
Trashorama.
2 of them are made by Trash.
Oh, 2 were made by Trash. Oh, Soon was made by you.
Right.
And
the other one
the Collins one.
Yes, that is Collins when he was in like, I don't know, like 6th grade or
So,
something.
yeah, this is Young Collins.
Classic Collins. as it
Classic
were.
Collins is the name of the emote, which is a great name, by the way.
And thank you, Dr.
All right.
Bob. There's our third one.
So right now, these are while it's waiting to dry, we're going to put it off. And what we're going to do now is build some supports that need to be constructed. And that's starting to pull us into the end of this as far as the basic construction. Still have to shim the arm, this part. And actually, we could go ahead and do that while we're here. No, because that's wet. So we will go now to just support structure. Now, what we're looking for, or what we're not looking for, what we're getting ready to do is, just so y'all can visualize, this right here, the supports you've been seeing on this are these one-piece struts that run like this, okay? Or like this goes all the way up to here, this one comes out, these lower piece ones. And that's what we actually have on the model at the present point. What we're now needing are these supports here that were a second piece just inserted. And so there's basically 6 pieces to a side that we have to construct and go in. And I dug out some boards over here earlier, or some sticks, whatever they'd be, squares, that we could work with to get this done. They're slightly smaller than the other one. I have this one here, I think that's still same size, but I don't have enough of that left. So what we would be dealing with here is we would want to put a board.
Right in the middle.
See, it would run down from here. Let's see, it runs
On the very tip.
like
That's what
right
it
here,
looks like.
straight up
Oh, look at that, Bug Lips.
to that end. That's
all
what
the
it
way to
would
the very
run
top.
from there all the way to the top. But we don't have enough angle because I didn't make my footprints out as long as this would be. Like normally, we could have gone out any length we wanted to, but to keep it more practical, I let it smaller. But we could have gone all the way out to here. And so we might just turn around and just add this one internal, the lower ones. Because on this particular side, it wouldn't end up doing anything. So to do it is like you've seen me do this before. We're going to come in and I'm going to pick the point and it needs to come up to be like right about here.
And you're going to pin it?
And then we're going to get it and cut it and go.
Okay.
And so what I have to do is more or less just cut one side by looking at it.
You can mark it.
Yeah. Now the game I play is this, so y'all can see what I'm going to see here. Is I will come from the underside and I will put it in the position I want it to be in, which would be, let's say, like right about there as a support. And then I take a pin, which is, make sure it marks. And all I'm looking for is not a line. Well, a line, yes, I guess, really. Get this up and go.
Bug Lips? Oh.
So it's the contortion of showing y'all
Miami
how I'm
Vice?
doing it.
Nope. Trashorama.
Is what?
Oh. I am a wizard. That's great, Trash.
That's great. Thanks, buddy.
Trash
Also,
with the memes in chat.
thank you for the sub bomb. Also, give Bug Lips.
Yeah, thanks Bug Lips for the gifts. I think you said something in chat as well. I didn't want to do it if there was only like 4 of them. I want people to get them. Oh, the holiday
Now,
colors, the gifts.
What I did is I marked right here
Hashtag
the
free.
pin. You can see it, that line, and I'm going to show it to you in a second. And you can see where I did that line. But what I want you to see here is, see we're about a 1/16 of an inch away from the wood. And that's just because of the curvature of the pin. You know, I can't get in there and get right on the line. So now that I have these lines marked, what I'm going to really, when I do my cut, is I'm actually going to need to cut out to here. Just to make sure that we don't lose too much. This shouldn't have changed that much.
Just on the outside of it?
Yeah. And that'll be where we make our cuts. So,
Okay.
and I also wanted to make sure I can make this, because anything I'm cutting on one side is going to mirror to the other side. So, as I said, we're sort of almost pretty much centered here.
So really, if you cut this out, then you can measure it
Measure it and go to the other
and then
side.
the other side.
Yeah.
Easy.
And if it's not exactly, it doesn't matter. It will get us there.
Thanks, Eli Otter. Is that how you say it? Eli Otter? Eli?
I think it's Eliana.
Eli Otter.
So and what you learn through time in doing this a bunch, I just finally figured out that the more I pay attention to my geometry, or making sure that things are relatively close to equal. Again, we're not using a ruler, even though we figured out halfway through the shows that I have this mat here covered in all sorts of rulers.
Me and Ron were measuring minis using that
Okay.
on Friday.
But anyway, you just learn to do it, visualize it, eyeball it. It's sort of how they did the pyramids, I'm sure. And
They just eyeballed it.
yeah.
They had their physics people out there like, oh, that looks like it'll work. Let's try
That was
it.
actually just I was in college. I was opening up Domino stores, and there was you're going to have any kind of weird debate you can imagine, and one of them is that this guy he would just not believe the fact that the Egyptians that long ago had rulers or anything. And so we're going, well, how did they build the pyramids? I mean, you just didn't sort of draw a line on the sand and meander. But had quite a lot of fun at his expense. Now, right here you can see my angle's off a little bit just because of that piece. And I want to come down and I want to catch it and straighten it off. And then while I'm here, this printed stuff, we don't want that to accidentally show up. And it's just a barcode they print.
Wait,
So,
they didn't use barcodes back then?
no, they didn't. They didn't have rulers, barcodes. They didn't have change.
They didn't have like a John Deere where you can go buy your catapult.
Yeah, you would think. Although, here's a Reaper story. One day I come in, casting was in a different building at the time, and I have to go over there for something. And we're all the time fighting production at that stage of existence for metal. And I come in, and all of the casters have stopped casting and are all huddled around each other in this big debate. And I walk in and I see it, and they completely ignore me. They're so engrossed with their debate, they don't even realize I come walking up and I'm standing there in the middle of, around them. And the debate, though, was, did Jesus carry coins or not? And that was what their entire debate was. Brought the entire shop to a standstill for production.
Things like that don't happen nowadays.
No, they don't, but they loved happening then. Now that you've cut this is the best part. Now that you've cut this, then you got to remember exactly how it is you put it in there.
Oh yeah, because I think you went from the
Should
other
be
side.
like this.
Let's see, hold on. I got some.
I'm
see a lot of
going to
people.
find it and pin it or get it and then show y'all.
A lot of people in chat are making fun of Justin.
Oh, no
Are they?
way.
Yeah, well, like this. Like people are posting things like this in chat.
Oh, they're attaching my face. Oh, you know
Oh.
what? I appreciate that one, John. Thanks.
Yeah, give you big tattooed arms.
Those look like the Rock's arms.
They look like little camels turning around looking at you. And his arms do sort of look like little camels turning around with their head turning around looking at you.
Okay, Boomer.
Hey,
So-
man, at least I can afford it.
Whoa,
Whoa. I need a whoa sound
All right.
bite.
whoa.
So now, let me get these pinned, and I'll just show you real quick what we're doing, because you're not seeing anything. This whole boomer thing, I'm having fun with it. A lot of people don't like it. That's the part that I'm amazed about. I'm catching these little news blurbs on it.
I mean, it's all over the place right now.
Yeah.
There you go, Justin. Give you some wings.
Oh, that's great. It's like Red Bull.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Yeah. Is that still their, slogan?
I think so.
Oh, I don't know if they still used it. It's kind of old, so.
It's Forever Night made you into an octopus.
With the tentacles. That's great. Oh, yeah, there we go. Ed's so woke.
Yeah, Ed's so woke.
that's-
Oh my God, Sticks says.
That's
What
great.
is so woke? Well, I didn't see it. Where's Stick?
He doesn't know what woke
He's
means.
so woke, he doesn't know what woke means.
Does you make it look so easy? Okay. Now, who was it said it? What is woke?
I don't know. What's the exact
It's,
definition of
it's
woke?
like a level of enlightenment that only certain people can achieve.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like you're so cool and hip and you know all the...
Except
The cool lingo.
except when they're calling you cool and hip. You don't know that.
Yeah,
That's sort of
it's ironic.
Yeah.
That's for certain.
okay. So, I got it pinned in place, but let me get it back down here where you can see it. So, as you can see, what we've done is just cut that piece to fit in between these two to add a support structure to it. And my angle's not exactly on, I'd have to adjust it. But now that you can see where it is, I'm going to glue it. And this would be a good time to show your stuff off. That would be you.
Oh yeah, we could show stuff off. I was reading chat.
Oh.
I was too.
I think Justin has some pictures loaded up for us.
Yes, I do.
These are pictures that I've gathered from social media, on all socials, Reddit, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all that stuff.
I'm going to start with the first one, mainly because the name caught my eye,
Okay.
and I'm going to use it. It's from Twitter.
Okay.
I assume user handle or at whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Bishmeister1.
Yeah. There we go. This one was pretty cool. This is the one that I think we were talking about, sand table. Yeah, look at that one.
That's not a sand table, but that would be,
This
But
looks like
we
it's at a convention.
Yeah.
It looks like it's a dock down here at the bottom with a huge, like, leading up to a big, I wouldn't say
yeah.
mausoleum, but like a big,
Well, it almost
structure.
looks like there's a crane there to unload cargo, and then it looks like you have sort of a landing there because you see the piers into the water, and that would be sort of a market, is the way I would interpret what I can see just in the picture. And then you obviously go on up into a temple,
Yep.
which is probably where you have to like do your credit card transactions.
This looks like a great, like, table for a convention. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you probably have a whole scenario set up where you have to fight from your boat to the temple, or you're trying to escape. Maybe you're going from the temple to the boat.
Boat or something, yeah.
You know, or whatever the players
like
choose.
James Bond, yeah.
But who was this one? Bishmeister?
Yes, one.
Bishmeister 1 on Twitter. I believe this was from last week. A lot of these are going to be from last week. I've gone through and saved some more, but these are all ready. Yeah,
All right.
Necropolis.
Next one is also on Twitter, and this is Brush Wizard.
Brush Wizard. I think I know what this one is. Oh, yeah. This is the one I wanted to talk about a lot of. Like,
Well, it's a nice keep, yeah.
so, like, but if you look on the right there,
Right, the gears.
it's a motor from, like, an air conditioning.
Right.
I remember last week I was talking about
Yeah, I
a
remember,
guy on
yeah.
Twitter who
Yeah.
he was, like, you know, replacing his car parts or replacing air conditioner engine and or, like, motor and things like that. And he likes to keep those things so he can make things out of them. And so he kept it and attached it to the back of this castle keep
Yeah.
and made it look like it's, like, very steampunky.
Yeah.
Because on the back side of that, you can see there's, like, that piping.
Coming up, it's, yeah.
Looks like it's connected to, like, help with the steam.
It's
and
like it's
things
getting,
that.
something, steam out of the earth, something to turn the turbine, which is to the right.
Yeah.
So all of that just so they can charge their iPhone.
Yeah. And he has a bunch of these kind of things that he's been doing, but I thought it was very cool to kind of talk about. Because it's something that you can just repurpose and reuse instead of just throwing it away to create terrain.
Yeah.
And weird things like that for your miniatures.
We ought to do probably a segment. Something I'll do is I'll go through like Home Depot, their electrical section, and you just start looking at stuff, and you pick up a box or this or a thing, and you're like, okay, this could be for this. This could, and then you get home and assemble whatever it is you've come up with.
Especially once you start doing this hobby, you can start to like look at things and be like, what does this look like in a miniature world?
Yeah.
Things like that. Because that's so cool to mix like actual parts with that. But what model is that troll is the question. I believe that is from a game,
28 millimeter, yeah.
from called World of Warcraft. You guys might not have heard of it. It's just a small game.
Kind of an indie company.
Yeah,
It was.
small little company.
Small little company.
But yeah,
That is the character Zul'jin, as Collins pointed out, that I remember. Or it could be
Zappy
Zappy
Boy.
Zappy Boy, yeah.
Zappy Boy.
Well, that's different from Zul'jin.
Oh, it is?
It
Oh,
is,
okay.
yeah.
I'm pretty sure Zul'jin. 'Cause Zappy Boy
Yeah.
can get his own
He'd
model.
probably.
Zappy Boy was just a random shaman.
Yeah. Junkyard Wars.
Oh, man. I haven't watched that in a while.
That was a good show.
All right, next one.
Okay, the next one is... Let's see. Oh, well, it's also Brush Wizard, but
Okay.
I think it's something else.
Yeah,
Let's see
it
here.
might be the same one from a different. Oh, it is. So remember when Justin was making fun of me last week when I was talking about tin cans?
Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah, and I was trying to explain what a tin can was, and Justin was like, "Why didn't you just say tin can?"
Well, yeah, because we all know what a tin can
Yeah,
looks like.
and you're right. So you just get done eating your corn or whatever, and you take your label off.
Oh, mine comes in little plastic bags that are nice,
Oh,
disposable.
your
and-
steam bags.
Remember,
Yeah,
he's a
little-
boomer. He can afford it. So
Oh yeah.
he buys the high-quality coin.
I like all my corn's actually yellow. Okay.
But yeah, this is by the same guy, Brush Wizard, the guy who likes to repurpose things like that. And like I said, this is his tin cans that he just painted up to kind of look rusted.
Great quilting board.
Yeah, It does look like a very, like, what Colin said, it's kill team kind of layout or a post-apocalyptic kind of thing.
Yeah, post-apocalyptic storage depot or something.
Collins could absolutely run one of his Tau off that top tower there and just kill it. I could see him doing
They
it.
all fly.
Fly.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, but they have to learn to fly at some point, which means you're going to lose a few in the fall.
They got jetpacks.
That orange thing in the back kind of looks like a monster can, but I know it's not. But it kind of looks like a can of Monster, like kind of turned upside
It
down.
actually really does. No, right, even right side up. It looks like the lid's right there. On
Yeah, the little lid. But yeah,
So they all have jetpacks. So the jetpacks come with instructions?
No, they just know.
They just know.
Yeah, they
It's
just
part of
know
their
it's
genetic
fine.
code to know.
Yeah, that's it.
They're real Sparksies.
All right, so next one is also from Twitter. What?
read Trashorama in chat.
Oh, they.
He's making fun of Collins' accent.
Collins, come back. That's
So,
golden. You got to
it
see
has,
this.
It has Collins' picture.
Collins,
with
you
they
gotta
all
come
fly.
They all fly.
Fly.
Yeah, Collins
You know,
has a
it's-
very Texas
I have,
accent.
I have made fun of Collins for literally
Yeah.
saying things that way.
He says,
Well, but he
instead of
does
saying-
have that whole on the game table "come at me, bro" thing, so I could easily see that.
Instead of saying fly, he says fly. Fly.
I don't know where he went, but he's got to
Dude,
see this.
Trashorama is so funny.
All right, so the next one
All right.
is Carrot Gun.
Carrot gun.
Carrot Gun. These names, these Twitter handles, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought we were going to see a carrot gun.
No. That's just his
Is
name.
that a thing?
I don't know. We have a potato gun.
I guess
don't know why you couldn't have a
pneumatic can
carrot
launch
gun.
anything out of it you want, right?
Mm-hmm.
Any sort of pneumatic.
I like this one for the lighting on the right. I can't remember exactly. Did I have a title in what it said this was used for? But I don't think I did. But things like this, like creating that crack in the ground and adding these little boulders, like the buildings have been knocked down. It seems like post-apocalyptic is a very popular setting for games. Like you
Yeah.
know, like for like skirmish games and things like that, survival games and all that.
Well, Thunderdome's rules: 2
Yeah.
men enter, 1 leaves.
That's right.
Unless you're going to blow the whole place up.
And right now we're kind of in a big terrain surplus. There's a lot of things being thrown around, so I think terrain's on an upswing. It's no longer going to be like Theater of the Mind, even though that's perfectly fine. But I feel like terrain
Well,
is...
okay, this is like 100 years ago. When you would go to Gen Con or Origins, the
Mm-hmm.
one thing that was the most spectacular part was to go find the miniatures room almost immediately. Because the tables they would build were just way over the top.
Big scenarios.
Big scenarios.
Like
there
the one
was
we saw
a,
with the dock in the temple.
Yeah, stuff, and then, there was a BattleTech table that had an ongoing nuclear blast. The thing was like 4 feet tall, made out of whatever cotton or whatever they did, and they just had it all
Oh,
done.
cool.
And so they're playing on the table with the nuclear bomb, and it just on and on. It just was amazing what you would do. Nowadays, you don't see it as much since everything it shows is more tournament driven than just scenario.
I would love to see more stuff like that. Because I know back in ReaperCon years and years and years ago, we had that big, huge table that was a big dungeon.
That one, and it actually, because it was made out of, it actually got broken by the removing crew. But we could revisit that. I actually did the first one of those that I was aware of back in Origins, I want to say 86, somewhere in there.
Oh, wow.
Early or late 80s. And, but it was made more, it was out of foam core, so I could move it in 2-foot squares. And it was just a big suicide kind of, you jumped in there and you were trying to get as much loot as you could, but at the same time, all these traps were there, like it would take you to a room, and if you ended up in the room, the trap is that there's another person in there. So you have to kill somebody. If you kill somebody, you get to leave the room. And stuff like that. It was just really bizarre. But I had all these statues. This was a neat little thing at the time. But it's back then, that was the thing. That's what I've always liked, is the panoramic pageantry of all of that.
That's a good way to put it, pageantry.
Thank you
Yeah,
for the
show
sub.
pageantry.
Monahos.
Monahos. Thanks for the
Also,
Twitch Prime.
that puts us at 26 subs, which is 4 away from a 6th paint set.
Yeah,
Wow.
4 away. And then also, Monahos has a good. She used her Twitch Prime, or he or she used her Twitch Prime. So if you have an Amazon account, Amazon Prime account, you can link it to your Twitch account, and you'll get 1 free sub a month.
Yes, and if you want to use that here, we would be elated.
We would very much appreciate that.
Also, as a PSA, Ellie Otter was making poopy diapers in the late 80s, in case anyone was wondering.
In the chat.
Yes, also as an announcement, put in your hashtag freeze.
Hashtag free. Thanks,
Whoa,
Jacob Jansen.
Jacob.
But not your
Whoa.
poopy diapers.
Man, Jacob. Jacob Jansen with the 24 gifted subs.
Holy moly.
I was in Jimmy the Brush's channel the other night, and he gifted 91
We need to party with him on a Friday
gifted
night.
subs.
Yeah, I imagine that's probably a blast. Also, just to point out, that was 10 of our 18 of these that we found. We literally cannot afford to have more than 49 more. So,
Yeah. We only have how many to give away total?
18.
Total of 18. That's all they
18
found.
total.
Or
That's
that's
all
what was
correct.
reported on the. And it's always the same thing. You're being John's in the Monday meetings and Monday, Wednesday meetings is, I found these. Well, how many do you have? Well, I've got 18. What do you want me to do with them? And
Yeah.
it's like, well, run them up to Justin. We'll figure out something for
Do a
them.
giveaway.
In the past, we would just pack them away for next year or something. But then no one would ever remember, and in turn, you'd find them
Find it a
6
couple years later?
Yeah.
Yeah. Albevison, I just want the people who don't have the holiday paints to get them. That's very nice of you guys.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have been raving about Coal Black, and I think the other one is Sparkling Snow, I think is the other one that people are talking about. But Coal Black has been all the rage.
Also, thank you, Hugh Hefner, for the Twitch Prime.
Thanks, Hugh.
I love that it's spelled H-U-E.
It must be zombie
color
Hugh. I
hue.
thought Hugh sort of checked out us, has been looking on the wrong side of grass for a few years.
Thanks, Dr. Bob, for the gifted one. To Bonsai Tortoise. What a great name.
I like that too, yeah.
Because in my head, I immediately picture a mini of a tortoise with a big tree growing on its back.
There's a
Sounds
Pokemon
great.
like that.
It is, Torterra.
Yeah.
That's, yeah.
That is his name. Do we have any more terrain pictures?
Yes, we do.
All
All
right.
right. Hey, no
What
more
I do with my
beatboxing, Ed. None of that.
Oh.
All right. We have Christopher Rick from Twitter. And
Christopher
this is
Rick.
Rhodes.
Oh, yeah, there's two of them. So this is one of them. This is kind of a close-up shot of asphalt road that they
Oh,
had
that's
made.
that's a neat effect. I like that.
Yeah, maybe I'll start asking. There's the other. There's
Looks
the,
like the roads here in Denton. Just saying.
But the left is the big one, and that's the close-up on the right. But it looks like maybe they have some kind of like some kind of road course or race course, or kind of some kind of role-playing setup like that with cars.
Like Mad Max.
Yeah. Oh yeah, essentially. But it's a very cool effect, so I wanted to show this off about the effect. Maybe I should start asking these people on how they did their effect if they'll let us know.
Yeah.
That way I can talk about it. But
Yeah.
I really like it. I can't. It doesn't look like they cracked it all the way through. So like it doesn't look like they cracked it and then
There
put
is
it back together.
I made a lava planet one time for Cav, and there is a effect that you can get actually at Home Depot. We might revisit that here, where you would paint like your bright orange and yellow and red neons underneath, and then you would put this material on there, and then I painted the planet black. Okay, but what it is it starts to crinkle, and if you put it on really thick, it's designed for furniture, but you don't. Obviously, you just do what you need to do. So you put it on really thick, and it causes all of that stuff to move out, and so it cracks open all the black surface,
Crackle.
showing everything underneath.
Crackle paint, I think is what it's
Crackle
called.
paint or something. I don't remember now what it was called, but yeah, something like that. And you can do a lot of fun stuff with that.
Yeah,
And
crackle paint.
Same with desert. It's a good effect for desert. It's also super good a desert effect when you're doing washed out or dried out riverbeds, things like
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
I can do that, Jason. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Is it legal?
Yeah.
Yes.
He
it's
says if he
legal.
wins he wants it to go to somebody else if he wins the draw, the hashtag free. Then just don't enter. But I guess you're giving somebody else another chance. So
Correct.
maybe you still do. Yeah, but
That would be the difference between giving and ignoring.
my British mister is weirded out by Ed's pronunciation of depot.
Depot. What's wrong with depot?
Depot? Depot better?
Yeah.
Depot?
Yeah, you were saying home depot, I think is what you were saying.
No,
Home
he
Depot.
he
Home
was
Depot.
saying depot.
Oh, depot.
Maybe
Yeah.
they're suggesting
Home
it should
Depot?
be depot.
Well, what do y'all call it?
Depot.
So I'm not.
I say-
That's not the first time I hear
I say
different.
Home Depot.
We
Depot.
can flaw on down to the depot.
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I say depot.
Depot.
Home
like
Depot.
Jacob
I
has
think
a
that's
depot.
most
Yeah,
people.
depot.
I don't know why it was depot.
How did the British say it? How would the British say it? Coffee nerdery beer. Let us know in chat. Home Depot.
Home depot.
Buglip says I call it home despot.
That would
there,
work.
there we go. That's got underlying connotations.
Yeah, I pronounce it like John. Coffee Nerdery Beer says.
okay.
Home Depot.
Depot.
I think a vast majority of people say depot, so I can't
why.
imagine any other way to actually say it.
Oh. She's saying that her British husband or British partner, is that what she said? Says it like you do.
Depot.
Depot.
Oh.
Home Depot.
I grew up. This is necessary. I grew up a lot for all reading British books, and so have the OU for like color and stuff. I fought that all the way through elementary school and all that kind of stuff. You didn't spell this right. Oh man. So I don't know where I got it like that.
Sibling 2023 says, when will we get more of the Josh paint-along kits? I know that the January ones went up, and I know we've sold quite a bit of them already. I think the February one is going to go up for sale
I
soon.
imagine by the end of this week, yes.
By the end of the week,
So
at
that
some
you
point
can buy
this
it ahead of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were being assembled. There were some sets being assembled this morning by Collins. Which ones were those?
That's
January.
probably the...
January.
I saw the stickers. Yeah.
Oh, was it? Okay.
So he said that he has the February ones built. He just needs to take a picture of it so he can create a kind of a flyer or a poster for it.
To get it done fast, he circumvented the normal kit shop area and their procedures or their routine and went down and did it in the break room.
Yeah. Sibling 2023 says they are sold out on the January ones on the website already. All right, I'll look at it after this, Sibling.
We can add more. We're like the old Dorito commercials.
Yeah, they just have to be built. SKUs are 9,500, or sorry, 95,000 and 95,001 for the
Wait,
first two.
the January ones are sold out?
Apparently
That's
on the
what he
website.
said.
Yeah. Because I don't know how many Collins made.
About
That's a good
24, 25. That's what it looked like. It was a couple tables worth.
But that's like I only asked because literally before this show started, I checked what we had in stock, and we in theory should have had 10 left on both sides, or whatever.
But there you go.
I don't know how many they put up. They might have built 24. I
Yeah.
don't know.
We'll look at it after this, Sibling. About after the show, we'll go around the factory and look around and.
Well, go ask Kit Shop. Did y'all find anything else in here that looks like this?
Jacob said he bought one. Yeah, Beach Nuts said they're sold out. Okay. Reaper Collins said, I made 26 but did not add any inventory. Okay. We'll get more made. They'll be up.
Well, then to get him to turn it on.
So my data says there's been 13 sold, but that's clearly inaccurate because we put at least 24 up.
Yeah, it's
So
probably...
there's a discrepancy somewhere.
I don't know what you're looking at and how it reads, but it could
Yeah.
be they could be in carts and not checked out.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's two, too.
And that's possible.
Or it has to be updated or
Yeah.
something, refreshed.
People may have grabbed it and they're like, I gotta wait. But I mean, in theory, Ed, we can make more. I assume we're going to
Right.
continue to make more. So
Yeah.
Bloodwild says, the Learn to Paint Kit core is not available for me on the U.S. website.
It was down this weekend, and then at the Monday meeting,
We're making more right now.
they're having to make more. There was only, there was, I think it was paint department
Yeah.
had a glitch.
So
And
there'll be more.
there'll be more very soon.
and the core palette is just a 6-pack. That one is really easy to kind of.
No, I was just talking about the Learn to Paint Kit.
Oh
Core-
no,
Core skills.
Sure.
Oh,
Not
you're
the.
talking-
You're saying not the core palette.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not Josh's core palette. Do we have more pictures? You're still gluing these support beams on, is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah.
It looks like you still have
Two more.
Two more?
Two more to go.
And then you got to do the top part, right? Are you gonna say
we're
you're gonna wait
we're
on
gonna
that?
skip the top part. We're just gonna use these, and then we're gonna go back over to shim the beam. I want to get it as close as possible, sans the loom. And in fact, too, I need to glue these and show them how to do the loom, because next time they'll see it, it'll be done.
Oh, nice. The loom will be done.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that's definitely a sit off camera and do it for it takes several hours, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I
I
didn't
saw
actually
you
time it.
using the sander the other night.
Yeah.
How well does this sand? I'm assuming
this
pretty
stuff
well.
is invisible.
Like
Yeah, you
disintegrate.
you barely touch it. Yeah, you don't want to sand it; it'll disappear.
So our next picture, by the way,
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
is by Goblin's Mordor, I think.
Yeah.
and it is
Michael
the
Mordor.
Crypt diorama.
Yeah, this
So-
is Michael Mordor on Twitter. A lot of you guys probably know him as Goblin King. This is his diorama of the Obsidian Crypt. I like how he painted the fences to be like kind of rusted.
Rusted, and yeah.
Very cool. I
Well,
like
it definitely has that. I've been sitting around for 1,000 years look.
yeah, and the Photoshop with the moon in the background definitely looks like it's been touched up, but just for good photographs, obviously. But great stuff. I love the rust. Sorry, I love the
Listen,
rust.
I'm hearing squeaking.
Yeah, I didn't know that camera picked it up. But yeah, I love the rusted effect. It's pretty good. I know a lot of people have been painting the Maggot Crown Ogre with the rusted effect. I've seen all kinds of different
I
rusted
saw a
effects.
good effect of that on somewhere. Maybe you posted it, reposted
Yeah,
it.
you retweeted it.
That was the 40K.
Yep.
Had the,
The conversion?
ultramarine, yeah.
Yep. So I will show that off on Friday, actually, if we get to it.
You're off camera, by the way, Ed.
Okay, yeah, well, no, here you go. There we go.
Oh, now you're on. Perfect.
Now we go, yeah, I'll let Dennis. So all I did was now go in and cut and add these lower supports, which will give you a chance there to look
There
at
it
them.
is.
And they're centered into it, and then there'll be a couple of them are pinned to hold them in place, and they're going to need to dry. And then while we're doing that, that's drying, because we are trying to get this last thing, and I might just build it off because it's already 4, but we can go a little bit longer. I don't
We were also a little bit late.
Oh, okay, that's true.
About 5
that's
minutes,
true.
yeah.
We have to add that in there. I'm with you on that.
It's okay.
Anything to keep from going back downstairs for that mess.
Yeah, I got to go actually make more koalas for you guys.
Yeah. So anyway, what I have to do is build some shims with this arm, and it's easy, but not.
Is this the counterweight? Oh, no, never mind. I know what you're talking about.
There's ways to do it. We can center it. We can add.
For both sides? Or just
I
one
think
side?
what I'll do is just add to the bottom until we get where we need to be, and then maybe not do the top. I just need to keep it where it stays center. Gluing a big thick thing over the top of it and then trying to refine the same hole now that it's all geometrically centered, I don't want to mess with.
Yeah.
So what I'll
Makes
do
sense.
is add that in there. But before I do that, what we have to do is make sure that that's enough shim.
To fit in there?
Yeah, because I've done this, where you glue it in there. You go, oh, this will work, and you glue it, and then you find out, oh my God,
Yeah, that's way too thick, it looks like.
like actually right there, that ends up being, way too thick.
Yeah.
So,
Luckily, we got some thinner wood over there.
yeah, we'll just have to keep finding till I might have to, who cackled?
They're talking.
I'm informing Justin that his troll of the emote of me,
Uh-huh.
that I informed my wife that as that image is only in his possession because of her,
Uh-huh.
that it was her fault that this is happening. She has enjoyed thoroughly every bit of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I think if I remember correctly, your phraseology was, I really love my wife.
Yeah.
But why do you really love her? That was the $64.
Trash Rama, go ahead and quote that one. Go ahead and quote that one, please.
Yeah. Toad the Gobbo. I ordered some koalas. I'm really excited to paint them. I have a few people that want one. Awesome, Toad.
I just love the
Make sure once you're painted, you tag us on social media. We'll see it all.
There's the sunglasses.
Jason was very excited about doing this. He's usually the one that jumps right up in there.
Yeah, he likes our beast. He likes doing beast monsters and,
Well, just anything, and he's the one. He'll do the elephant people with that one. He's done a lot of the sculptures.
he's
for
a nice
us.
guy. Good old Jason Weeby.
He'll stay up and get it
He's a
done.
great person to talk to for about an hour.
Well,
Good, good stories.
Oh, for about an hour. Then what happens after at the end of an hour?
Oh, I have ADD right now. So the fact that he's got me for an hour, that's really what's important.
Okay. So now I've gone to a thinner, and we will look at this.
It looks
Now,
like it's a
see,
little
now
bit
as you
too
can
thin.
see, we're too thin. This is like, I guess, the Three Stooges here. I mean, excuse me, the Three Bears.
Oh, just right.
Yeah, just right.
Who, John, you get to be Mama Bear.
Yeah,
Is that it?
Yeah, you get to be Baby Bear, Ed.
I'll be Baby Bear. Sounds like Baby Bear wins at the end anyway.
This might not be Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Baby bear, boop, boop, boop.
Don't think that's the song.
I think he's going one step beyond.
Do we have more pictures? I think
Yeah, we
a
have one
few.
more here. Or we actually have several more.
Yeah.
But
While we're trying to figure out the color, the shapes of these shims.
Or the thickness, yeah.
The thickness, yes. What? I can't remember who did this one. There should be 2 pictures of this one, I think.
it just says Dagger and Bursch.
Dagger and brush.
Oh, well, okay. It says Bursch.
I probably typed it really fast.
Yep.
Dagger and Brush is who did this on Twitter. Dagger and Brush.
Those make
It
like
says
those,
crypt.
those are nice little mortar pits, and I like it when you do terrain like that. When you have something you can sink in and add depth.
I think it's supposed to be a crypt.
Yeah, it's like a
Be a
cave.
crypt or a crave, yeah,
Yeah.
it could be anything.
So it's like imagine that this had a roof onto it. Obviously, there's the entrance and the exit, and if you can kind of on the left side, left alcove, there's like a little outcropping in the middle there where there's like a skeleton that's laying down, and it has some urns and stuff, all kinds of it. It's like a cave, like a dank crypt cave. That this guy made. Probably it looks like out of foam core, if I had to guess, judging from the shape of it.
Okay.
I don't know if there's another close-up picture. I think I might have saved 2. A lot of these people submit like a bunch of photos, and I choose like 2 of them.
I don't see a second one.
Okay, so I didn't save it. That's my fault. Sorry, dagger and brush.
All right. So now we've expired all of those. So now I'm taking the 2 thinnest ones.
Oh,
And
put
we're
them
going to
together.
do that because this last one was just perfect, except it would have not allowed it. It was too perfect. It was snug. We want it to be loose.
Just a little bit, just the right amount.
Yeah.
Hello,
There we go.
crocodile.
Oh, there we go.
That gives me a little play. That's what we're looking for. And then with a little sanding and a little nudging, that'll get it there.
Hey, it's Crocodile. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Crocodile, you're a streamer and you're from Australia, I believe. I was actually in his channel the other day. Yesterday, last night maybe?
Right?
Can't remember. I believe Crocodile is a streamer. So if you guys go follow Crocodile, yeah, there you go. Hey, I just want to say, hey, I think I recognize your name. I think I gifted some subs in your channel. Dr. Bob asked, what are you using for the ballast?
That's still, I think we're going to play with that. There's been BBs, cut up some minis for like lead shot, I guess. I got lead shot. We could put that in there, but like put it in a bag. But it can't really be too, it can't be too heavy. I want to work up to it slowly just because of what we're throwing and then the structure itself.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to put 20 pulls on this, you know, I don't need it to start rattling apart just because I started off too heavy. So it'll be something really light. But the glass beads might be a good one, and then I can just dump those out and stuff like that. And I'll try and work all that out so we don't waste time. I'd rather be on the show here tossing stuff at Justin over there
Yeah.
than working out that. But I'll show you what we'll do.
Okay. Because I know earlier you mentioned doing the beads that we put inside of our...
That's the glass beads, and those might give me... It won't take, as you saw, it went so easily and freely. It won't take much ballast to throw. It's a mechanical function, a mathematical function between the ballast and what we're throwing. We're throwing a Hershey Kiss.
Yeah.
And then if we don't have enough Hershey Kisses, if they're all gone by the time we get to them, we'll just go get some 10-sided dice or 20-sided dice.
Okay.
And then do that.
Actually, I propose, Ed, that we unwrap one of them, and since you like Hershey Kisses, we
Try to fling it in
fling
your
it across
mouth?
the room into your mouth. And
Oh, is that? Yeah.
We'll stream it. People
Yeah.
will watch you try to catch a kiss in your mouth.
For 2 hours.
Oh, wow. Do you think it's going to... You have zero confidence in yourself.
I don't know. I was in a physics class one time up here at North Texas, and they had the one of the local news station crews had come up to talk with this professor about physics and probabilities and stuff. Anyway, they were out on the football field, and he was at the goalpost, and he had stretched the elastic tubing you would use for a slingshot between these to the goalposts, and then the camera guy was just going to watch this whole thing fly. They were talking about everything's happening because it's water, so it's moving in the air. Oh, it's just there's no. And he was about the 60-yard line, and so of course the professor got there, sort of aimed it at him, so he could get it like it's coming into him, and it went all the way over there and landed right smack into the lens. And so then in turn they had to compute the odds of it, and then they announced it was like a $5,000 lens, so or something. It was insane. But what was weird is how the lens you saw it coming, and when it hit, the whole lens just sort of went. Well, no, it just like colors. All the colors just shot through it. It just turned into like this prism and froze. But yeah, that's you laugh, you'll cry, and you kiss $5,000 goodbye.
That's really cool.
Thanks, Jacob Jansen, for gifting the sub to Crocodile.
Also, I have a new photo up.
Oh yes,
This,
I wanted to talk about this.
by the way, is so effing cool. If this person could donate this to Reaper.
I actually got this off of the r/mini painting subreddit.
And this is insanely cool.
Yeah.
No offense to all the other things that were submitted, but
I
this is
think
my
they should be
favorite.
offended. But
They should be
that's
offended.
okay.
This is my favorite.
Yeah, so they
This is
3D
so
printed.
cool.
They 3D printed the stairs and everything, is what I've read, and they 3D printed the base, and then they painted it all. It looks like they used some kind of obviously clear tubing to create this. This is a dice tower. Do you know what dice towers are?
Oh yeah.
So basically, you drop your dice, Boomer.
Yeah, Ed, the one of the co-creators of the miniature painting company of 25 years. Do you know what a dice tower is?
Seen a
Do
few
you
dice
even
towers.
know what a dice tower is, Ed?
No, but I mean I can figure it out. I get the gist of it. I'm assuming you take dice and then flick them up the stairs.
Up the stairs.
Up the stairs.
If they come out the top, then you've
if they
got
pop
the
out the
perfect
top,
20.
then you get an automatic
A natural
crit.
20, perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, you basically put the dice in the top, and then It rattles all the way down.
It's Geekstress, I believe.
Geekstress on r/mini painting subreddit is where I got this from. Yeah, that was her username, Geekstress. And very cool. Especially the paint job is pretty good as well. I like that the gates are there at the bottom, so it stops the dice from rolling out.
Yeah.
It's very
But still,
creative.
it's just very,
Very, very creative. So I figured
I mean,
you
it's
guys
like
would all
when
like to see
MDF
this.
came out, or when MDF became vogue for terrain building. One of the every MDF company, first thing it had to do is some sort of a dice
tower.
tower.
There's a bunch.
And then when the 3D printers came out, you got the same thing. They're all doing their version of it.
Now everybody can just do their own crazy dice tower.
Yeah.
But yeah, I figured a lot of people in chat would like to see this.
That's a neat. Yeah. So I've got the shims on here, and I should.
Oh, you're waiting
have-
for them to glue?
Well, the glue will dry, but I should have. I don't know. Made them smaller. It won't matter.
Are you gonna chop those off? Obviously,
Yeah.
the extras.
Yeah, but it'll give us the shim we need to keep it in its place.
Okay.
Type of that's
Hey,
what we
Ron.
want to go with.
Did you know that is the dice tower? Do you know what a dice tower is, Ron?
I do.
Weird. Ron also knows what a dice tower is.
Oh, weird.
How serendipitous, Ron.
It's cool.
Yeah, it was.
That's
Well, if you're
insane.
over 21, you might not recall it.
That was some lady on the r/mini painting subreddit posted this. Her name is Seamstress, the Seamstress. No, the Geekstress. Geekstress is the one who posted it. She 3D printed this.
Oh yeah.
Tower.
Well, while that's drying, before I move on to that next
Oh,
thing,
yeah,
let
we're
me
gonna show you.
what you're going to do here. There we go. This right here. So, I'd ordered in various cords and they didn't show up. So I just went ahead and ad hoc. Actually, I was standing by Brother Dave's desk, and he had a bag there. It was like a nylon or whatever it had. It had a pull tie on it. And so what I did is I said, I'm going to borrow this. I just pulled the pull tie out, and that's where I got this cord here. And then this is just thread, and since it's thin, well, I'm going to layer it back and forth. Now, what we do here is we actually, and it's been a gene year, so I went and found a printout. It's called a clove hitch, and then what we do is come across the line, and we'll tie these knots, and it's what holds it in place. And so you can get this off the internet, whatever. I think it's where I got it. Anyway, these are designed. This is a design to build rat lines for sailing ship models.
Okay.
But what we're doing is just building us a sling. And so hence, while I've got it set up at these angles, it's dark on dark, it's a little hard to tell. But I've got it set up just as a straight angle going up and down. So in turn, when we go to stitch this all together, the actual sling will actually end up being about that long. But this kept it in line.
And this is going to be used to hold the Hershey Kiss?
This holds our payload. And so what I do is I'll take this, and this is just regular bob of brown thread from Walmart or wherever. And I get a chunk of it. I guess you could get a chunk of thread.
A chunk of thread. It's very thin.
Yeah. Well, I said I'd ordered in cord, various widths, but it has never shown up, and I haven't been too busy to go down and remember it and go track it down. I'm sure it'll show up someday, probably in the post-apocalypse. So to give this some body, and also to the scale, being 25 millimeter, this would be this thickness I would guess of just a regular rope. So what I do is I'll just tie this like that at this end, and then we're going to double it again. And what I'm really looking for are 4 strands total width. Come on. I guess I'll do it and y'all watch. There we go.
Also, to clarify, the dice tower joke with that is less a shot at his age and more to me the absurdity that someone who owns a miniature company would know what a dice tower
Well,
was.
yeah.
Because
I don't care about the age.
Dave was calling you old,
Vintage.
and and then Bug Lips called you vintage.
Yeah.
I think that's worse. than
Hey,
being
everybody
called a
grows
boomer.
old. That's sort of the weird thing about it. It's not like it's not a life choice. You can go, hey, I think I'm gonna.
Are we about to pull our hashtag freeze?
Yes, that's probably a good
so
idea.
what I
since
did
he's
is I
wrapping
doubled
up.
it again. I took the big long. I don't know if I should have been talking. Took the big long, and all I'm going to do is just double it again.
So this is after you doubled it already?
Already doubled it already.
So double it, make the knot, and then
And
double
then
it
we're going
again?
to tie another knot at this end.
You want to move up a little bit so they can see it on the camera?
Oh, sorry.
And this is the opposite end of the first doubled up knot.
No, I'm actually including it.
Oh, you're
There's
including
the first doubled up knot right there.
I see it.
Okay. And then all I did was just fold that long twine that had now been tied, and we're just folding it again.
Okay.
And this is just if you're hurting if you can't find something, it's just, necessity is the mother of invention. You just make do. And the single thread, I could have loomed that, and it would loom really fast. And it would probably work, but it would look sort of stupid. It wouldn't be to scale.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be designed to be holding a few hundred pounds. So now that I have it doubled there, I just go to the other end, and because I need these pieces here to sort of stay together at the same length, I'll just put a knot in this end, is all I'm doing. And all I'm doing there, or the only reason I can see it's already hooked, it's not going anywhere, is so that I've got it to do that. I've got a pair of tweezers here, too, that I'll need. I've already lost in my pile. What did you call this place?
Nuclear fallout?
Nuclear holocaust? Or
Is that
nuclear,
it?
nuclear zone? It's a nuclear
they are,
blast
there they are.
zone is what it looks like
They'll
over here. I'll tweet out a picture of it at some point.
So anyway, now let me get this back on here. So really all we're going to do is I'm working towards the center, and I just want to tie this first one off. And I need my little twitch. It's been cinched. Once you do 150 of these, you got it memorized. It's the first couple of dozen, I guess, because it's not really a good photo of it either.
And you're going to go all the way up and down this
Basically,
twine
we're going to have one here, one here, one here, one here, one here, and we'll be up to about there. And that's our payload for the sling. Okay. But obviously, I could sit here and do this for hours, and it'd be like somebody watching somebody knit, I guess. It's fun if you're doing it, not if you're watching it.
So this is just to show you what this is. What's it called again?
I'm just going to do one here.
A clove hitch?
A clove hitch. Now, this one I'm not. This is just a regular little knot to start it off with.
But all the knots that are inside.
Unrelated to the spice.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, cloves. No cloves.
I mean, it's not a clove. Yeah, clove hitch. I'm sorry. Yeah, I didn't know what you're...
So all the ones that are tied in the middle are going to be the clove hitch.
Yes.
This is just starting
And
us
the
out.
unusual thing, and I'll show you when we get there. Come on. Of course. I'll tell you what, we'll just start over. Okay.
Oh,
Pulled
fixed
into
itself.
place. It fixed itself. It's right about there. Okay, now, something I will do is come back and give it a dab of super glue. I'll show you how I do that. And that just sort of makes it all hold into place. They don't want to slide up and down or come loose.
Structurally
So
sound.
when you're doing this, you want to go down. That's where the tweezers come in. And I'll wait till the end to show you why we do this particular thing. And then you want to come back up, over, let me see, down, over this way. And then you're wanting to bring it back in on itself. So when you have this, you go over here and come back down again. And this time, I'm going to pull it through here. Except I'm not going to do it. Well, I'll do it anyway, and we'll show you. So now that I have this hitch, the trick is I needed to make sure this was all the way tight. I didn't do that. But you can see how it's Xing up right there.
Yeah.
And what that does is keeps it in line for where it needs to be. And so before we get to that,
Interesting. So you go over it, up back through, and then over it again, and then loop it in on itself.
right, so I'm going to come, I'll go over it. And you can actually do this high. You don't have to, I don't mean high, but
You could do this
you can,
completely high.
you can tie it up here, I guess.
Or
you can
drunk
move
even.
it all,
Because then you can slide it down.
and then slide it down,
Okay.
yes. So, you know, where you don't have to keep focused on that position of what you're needing. So anyway, we bring this over.
That's a clip for the H's.
Yeah, there we go.
Someone is going to clip
You know, we
that.
did an outtakes, and it wasn't that popular, but you can get it.
Oh, Beavinson said overhand knot. A lot of Boy Scouts, you know, clove hitch, overhand knot.
So anyway, now that I did it gave me enough strength there. As you can see, you've got this structure here. Well, you really can't. It's easier like that. But what it allows me to do is, unlike a regular knot, I can keep pulling this until it gets tight, and it'll cinch up, hence the name hitch, I guess, whatever, right where I need it to be, which is right there. And then if I want to move it up or down, I just give it a
slide
little tug like that.
Because you can loosen it.
Yeah.
Man, this looming is giving me the munchies.
Do you?
He's been dying to say that.
do you,
He's been over there.
Do you go back and do a dab of
Super glue.
super glue on that knot?
Yeah.
Okay. Once you
Not
put it
right
in place.
this here. I get them all in place, and then I
Yeah.
do it all at once. You could do them one at a time. I just don't like risk, because if I did it that way, hell, I'd have these tweezers and everything glued to it before it was over with.
To be fair, that credit goes to Coffee Nerdery Beer.
Yeah. That name is really weird, right?
Coffee
You want to say
Nerdery
coffee nerdy beer.
Yeah,
Not
nerdy
nerdery.
coffee beer. In fact, I'm just going to rearrange it.
Nerdery coffee beer.
So, and then now it's more or less at this point a rinse and repeat a bajillion times.
Clove hitch. As in
And so
hitch a
that's why
horse.
I've got the tweezers. It allows me to just go in there and get that's what I'm looking for. Stick this through and pull it out.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a thing.
And now you're going to go back around one more time.
Yeah, except this time, since I went high, I went to the high side.
This again.
I need to come back over and down to the, because I reverse, let's see.
Also, on that note, I'm going to go ahead while you're doing that, Ed,
Right.
and draw the winners.
Okay.
Oh, look at that. They're drawn.
Oh.
I'm going to announce the winners. Our first winner is, now remember, if you win, you need to email reaperlive@reapermini.com. John will go ahead and type that in the chat for me now.
Yeah, I can.
And you'll need to email me in the subject line, preferably, is your Twitch handle exactly as it appears. And if you actually, as a bonus, if you want to tell me what show you won this stuff on, that helps too. And the date, all of that. Anyway, our first winner is Celtic or Celtic, from what Ann show earlier we discussed. Celtic Boar 13.
Celtic Boar.
Dr. Bob 7815. Mini Wizard Studios.
Hey.
Khimairon.
Mm-hmm.
Greeknakos. Doso 2222. Mad Mardigan 1987. I like that. Pendraketg. Sacharscorn. And then Donaland 9. Those are our 10 winners.
There's a lot of familiar names in there. Dr. Bob, Mini Wizard Studio, greeknakos. Pendrake.
Glad we're keeping you up there, John.
Pendrake.
Yeah,
a lot
John-
of congratulations
John,
to all the winners. I'll put the link in chat again for the email. And that's what you need to email. What would you say to put in the subject line?
Their Twitch handle exactly as it appears.
As it appears. Okay.
I mean, if you use a 0 for an O, I need that 0.
Yep.
All of
A
that.
3 for an E. All that. Exactly. Perfect.
Oh,
Yeah. I
That,
drank a Red Bull before this, so
that works, Greeknakos.
sponsored,
Well,
not
then why
a
are you
sponsor.
yawning?
Not a sponsor.
John is so thrilled to be here at
Yeah.
Trashrama. Trashrama 2020.
2020. Do we have any more pictures to show? Speaking of that,
We do. Let's
while
see
we finish
here.
this
Are
last
we,
looming here.
are we almost done there, Ed?
Yeah,
We'll
yeah.
discuss
We're
one
on
more
the
picture.
last one.
Last
All right,
one.
we will do one more picture.
Yeah. Let's make it a good one.
Let's make it a good one. Okay, he says.
Whichever one you want to fancy.
Oh, I
Fancy.
want to fancy this one. Actually, this one does look interesting though.
Ah. This is our this is a familiar name. I think it's Grey Paladin art.
Didn't we just gave these away last week?
Last week, yeah. This is, I believe, Grey Paladin. Am I wrong?
Correct.
Yeah, man. I'm
Gray
getting good at
Paladin
this.
art, graveyard fence.
Yeah, he did a couple of them, but this is just kind of a wide shot of it. Just kind of practicing the old rust at the very top. Kind of looks like maybe the rain kind of soaked down a little bit, made it, rusted in spots. Sometimes the rain kind of pulls together in strings.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I think this is a work in progress. It's not completed yet.
I love the green, honestly.
This is a work in progress. I think, if I remember correctly, Grey Paladin on Twitter and everywhere else. If you guys follow Grey Paladin art, he's on all our socials. He posts everywhere, so he's pretty on top of it.
To clarify, Greeknakos, just to make sure here, I did reply to you with that as well as get that resolved, right? I remember doing that. If that was not the case, obviously you
Damn,
slipped through the
memory's
cracks.
the first thing to go when you get old.
It is. Memory really is. But just to clarify, I want to make sure that you were indeed taken care of, Greek. But you're right. We should just start shipping
Where's my
random
super glue?
packages
Where
out
is it there?
to
Which one?
random
What are you looking
people
for?
Super glue.
to see if they become mini painters.
Oh yeah. There's a bunch of them over here, actually.
Just need Vaughn. Let's see if this has got any. Yeah, it's got stuff left. So anyway, now that I've got one strand across, all I do is go in and just hit the knot area itself.
To give it some structural
Yeah,
integrity.
just sort of hold it all together.
I'm excited to see what this loom would look like, or what this thing will look like all put together.
So I'm curious, if you were just going to cover it in super glue, couldn't you just wadded it around it and then just done that?
You
Yeah.
could have, but it's what happens is when if it's not held there, it'll grab the end of the tip, and you'll be doing this back and forth before you just end up with a huge mess.
I hate when it grabs the end of the tip.
Yeah.
Let's do one more picture. Why not?
Bet you didn't know that
Bonus
looming
picture.
was so exciting.
It is.
It looks
John
pretty
is
calming.
literally falling asleep.
I was watching the lady that we rated the other day that was making mugs. It's pretty cool. She makes yarn bowls and all kinds of stuff.
Actually, Greek, I thought I sent you a gift certificate. I'll check in that. Go ahead and whisper me on Twitch so we can get it worked out, because I don't like to leave anyone hanging. Let's go with, is this Jacob? Like the Jacob?
Yeah, Jacob Jansen.
Oh, man,
we
let's
go.
do this one.
It's
Here
the
we
Jacob
go.
Jansen.
So there we go.
Jacob.
That's all we'll be doing, and I'll set all out on another 6 or 7. I mean 6 or 7. What it'll take to get there, 4 or 5 to get this far up, and then we'll take it apart, and then I'll put it all together. We got to have to make a hook for it, and I'll show you that part. So really, at this point, this needs to dry before I trim it, but we know that's shimmed. The only thing we've got left is really to add this front structure here, which is in a counterweight. And I don't know if we're going to actually put weight in it or just construct boxes that'll go up there, but it's this part here that's circled, and that actually attaches to this part as a counterbalance. So that's about the last part we've got left, but we are running out of time. So I'll get up here and get that part done, and then hopefully next week we'll be able to paint it, but we'll probably shoot it before we paint it.
Just to make sure it works.
Well, that, and also too, when you start painting, all that moisture will get in all the wood and it starts throwing it everywhere, and then when it dries, it comes back.
Okay.
But we'll get it ready. Put a thing on this and move on to the next project. I'd hate for this, instead of being Terrain Tuesday, to be Trebuchet Tuesday for the next year.
Well,
So anyway,
real quick then, let's discuss this picture since it's up there. Real fast. We'll cover
oh yeah.
it. That is Jacob Jansen's. Did he make it, or did his DM make it?
I believe Jacob made it. Jacob, if you're in chat, he posted it on Twitter.
So the orcs have the party cornered inside the cave, or is the monster going to come out and use them as toothpicks?
We
Which
don't
is
know.
the story?
Those look like goblins. Are those goblins or orcs? Or are they the same?
No,
No, orcs are
those look like
taller.
orcs to me, right? Are they orcs?
I'd call them
Nope.
orcs. They look taller.
Jacob
they can be
made
God. I
it.
don't know.
Jacob's in chat. He can answer it. He's probably working on
I'm
something.
going to say they're
He
an
said he
orc,
made it.
Yeah, he
based
made
on
it.
the side of the size of the base, assuming that's a 1-inch base. I like it.
Yeah, he also had another work progress picture. I don't know if I posted it in there, but I also love that he put the strings on the bow.
I was just asking where he started with blue foam. Yeah.
Blue foam, yep, and they're
Yeah.
orcs.
Now, was the skull an attachment, or was that actually? Did you press that out into the foam?
Yeah, did you sculpt the skull, Jacob? My favorite part about it, I love that he added the strings to the bow,
Yeah.
to the orcs. Not many people do that.
Yeah. Also, a trick on that too is to use brass wire.
Sculpt-a-putty. Sculpt-a-putt?
No, I like it. It looks really good.
Yeah.
So
All right.
Yeah,
Well, then
thanks,
on that note, thank you again for all the people that entered.
yes, and enjoyed it, and we'll see everybody
It's fine,
next
Jacob.
Tuesday. And I'm going to go ahead and get this back together so I can clean up my mess. Or why don't you shoot a picture of the mess just so you can see it?
Oh, I will. Before the show.
Oh, geez.
Before the show's over. I'll take a picture and we'll show it off next week, actually.
All right, that works for me, man.
So, give you guys something to come back next week.
Do you have a raid?
That's what I'm getting together now.
Oh my God! See, it is. We thought back to that.
wanna-
We're not
I
professionals.
just want to get on. Hey, everybody. I know a lot of people are a little weirded out that they just hear a voice talking, but I'm here.
Voices are what guide us through the night.
Woo. Thanks for sharing with that, Jacob. I know you're also getting stuff ready for your DM to go to GaryCon. Some kind of Tiamat temple encounter, it looked like. He had a bunch of statues with all the different colored statue heads with some eggs, and
Oh, that would be fun.
it's pretty cool. I saw the thing on Twitter. I have it saved. I'm excited to see this
So
thing finally
Tiamats
shoot something.
reproduce? A Tiamat reproduces?
I don't know. I think it was just a temple to Tiamat.
Oh,
so
a
maybe
temple
it was
to- I
eggs
see,
to
see.
other dragons and stuff like that. Paul wants to ask, or Purple Cow Ninja says, "Hey Ed, do we have any electrical tape here in the factory?"
Yes.
He
Go
says
back
yes,
into
Paul.
card printing and check in the top of the red toolbox.
There's your answer.
That's great.
Red toolbox.
On that note, we have a raid.
Twisted, that was me, John Overton. Oh, I see what you're doing, because we look alike.
All right, guys, go ahead and spread the Reaper love, and
Yeah.
we will see you tomorrow at 11.
Tomorrow, 11
Central
a.m.
Time for
That's right.
Ann's Pro Tips.
Don't forget to check out the koala, that
Oh, yeah.
fundraiser.
Yes.
We are definitely on that and want to sit that as much as we can get done there. And what else?
That's it.
It's
I
a bit.
think.
All socials, tag us and
All
everything.
socials,
We'll see
yes,
it.
tag us and everything.
Well, guys, you have fun. We will see you tomorrow night. Thursday night. I get this
He'll
light out
see
of my
you.
face.
I'll see you
Yeah,
guys
he'll
tomorrow at
see you.
11.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Later.
Have a good
All
night.
right, have fun. Bye.
Go show the love. We'll see you tomorrow.